Good morning, welcome back to Papa B's Old Time Repair. I'm Mike, and today we're back on the DI project. Hoping to get a little further today on the teardown of the DI. We know that the inside of the cylinders aren't in very good shape, but we'd like to get a first-hand view of that. So hopefully in this video we'll get down to be able to look into the cylinders. So come along and join us. Let's see what we find. The first thing we're going to try to do is get this front rocker cover assembly, valve tappet covers off, and that'll bring us down to where we can get access to all of the head bolts. Probably going to have to pull the water pipe assembly. We'll pull the fan shaft out of the governor. As you can see here, nothing is moving. So what we saw in the crankcase in the previous videos, I think is pretty prevalent throughout the entire engine. But we've got to get her tore down, so let's get at it. Get this tappet cover off first. He's loosened up. I'm trying my best not to end up with just a gigantic pile of parts on this project, because I know there's going to be some delay in getting stuff repaired. We won't want to put the cylinders, pistons back in till we go through the rear end, because we want to clean the rear case and everything. So what I'm doing is I'm bagging all of these parts, especially the nuts and bolts, to know where they go. And I've already got a couple of big boxes lined up where we're going to store parts. It's also my intent to try, whether or not I succeed or not, but it's my intent to try to clean these parts as I go and get them ready to be put back on when the time comes. So we'll see how that comes along. Drop that one. All right. What will we find under door number 1 this morning? All right. Oh my. Wow. Just when you hope it doesn't get any worse. Well, that's not too good. But we will we'll dump that. I'm going to lay that right here. And we'll see what comes about with the rocker cover. There's no doubt that the way this tractor was sitting, which it was sitting with this tire flat over here on the flywheel side, that it was sitting downhill. So once the crankcase filled up full of water, All of that would rush down the push rod tubes, and did I get the right size socket? I thought I did, but it's not wanting to grab. Let me go back and, okay, back again. All right, ended up being a 13/16. So see if we can get this. There we go. Well, so far the bolts are not putting up much of a struggle. Hopefully that's not famous last words. Sure smells old and musty though. 3. All right, 2 more. All right, it's loose. Get this. Okay. Look at the rust coming out. There we go. Woo! Mercy. Wow, wow, wow. That push rod is bent. I don't know if you can see that on camera. That one seems to be okay. Oh my. Are you there? Yeah, it looks like we're batting 50% there. Okay, so the exhaust valve, as we saw in the bore scope video, the exhaust valve is the one that is hung open some. I surely guarantee that there's no chance of getting these valves to move without some good soaking. So, all right, let me get this mess cleaned up, and I'll bring you back and we'll get some more pulled off of it. Okay, I've got you looking down over the top of the governor, and what we're going to do here is get ready to take the carburetor, the upper water pipe, and the intake manifold off of this head before we may end up cutting this. Yeah, it's broke anyway, not that it was any good, but yeah, so we got that part out. See if I can get this last carburetor bolt. Ugh. Wow, she is tight. And I don't believe I can get a box end on it. I don't think I can. Nope. See if we can. Nope. Can't get that one at all. So, and the problem is that one water pipe bolt is right directly under the carburetor float bowl. So let me get a hammer and do a little bit of jarring on that bolt and see if we can get that loose. Move in here on the other side of this, and I'm going to turn that. At least the needles are moving on the carburetor. No, it's not coming. Not coming at all. Drop that one. It's not coming. Let me see if I can get it. Nothing doing. Okay. Well, I guess we will move on and try to get all of the water pipe bolts. Let's go ahead and get these bolts from the fan shaft to the governor housing out. We'll have that much of it done. Well, let's go ahead and get what water pipe bolts we can get. Then I think we'll bring the torch over here and heat these manifold bolts. The carburetor is loose. I don't see that the flange is cracked on it. So I certainly don't want to pry on that. I might be able to rotate that carburetor if it's loose. Get a little better bite on that nut. Let me try that when I get this one off. Let me see. Let me take this other bolt out. Okay, that is out. Okay, it does move a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Well, we want to be careful with that. I don't want to destroy that carburetor any more than it already is. I'm going to restart that right there. I'll bring you back as soon as I get some of these nuts loose, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. Well, we made a little bit of progress. I've got 4 of the 5 nuts off the water pipe, and I was able to rotate the carburetor up to get clearance to this last water pipe nut. So we'll get this off, and we'll see if we are able to scoot this water pipe out of the way. Fan shaft, water pipe all together. Okay, I'm going to get a dead blow hammer. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds pretty solid to me. Let me see if I can, lock washers are still in place. Let me see if they're, all right. Went and got a screwdriver to tap on these lock washers. There's one. At least eliminate that from the issues. It's holding us down. Looks like plenty of rust around the studs. Pretty solid. Well, I do possibly see a little bit of a gap. Okay, I got a wedge out of the toolbox. We're going to see if we can I'm going to wedge it in far. Yeah, it's loosened it up quite a lot. We'll take that back that way. Wedge is loose. Come back the other direction. All right, that's what we're looking for. And I do believe if I can get, let me see if I can get this bearing housing loose out of the governor. It's not wanting to come yet. Okay, let's try. Look at the yellow paint on the governor. Okay, that helped considerably. I know you can't see it because you're pointed the wrong way, but let me see. Okay, let me bring you around here to the other side. See what I can do, what I'm doing. We're pretty well stuck into the governor housing, and so I am just driving a screwdriver down where your shim gaskets for setting your fan shaft gear clearance would be. And we are making some progress. I do not want to drive directly on an ear here for fear of snapping it off. Let me see what we can do here. Tell you what, folks, she is tight. Drop my microphone. All right, so the housing has fell back down onto the block. So let's get that started up again. Maybe get that over the studs. Okay. Okay. Here's that. Okay, that's what we wanted to see, and we didn't break. So now just got to try to get that up off the studs without almost off the studs on this side. Wow, she is just really close this way. It's not exactly intended on coming apart this way, but yeah, that's the first movement we've gotten out of the fan. If we could just get that picked up. And just like that, we're back. Wouldn't you know that the phone battery died, and it was also lunchtime. So let me show you what happened while the phone was charging. We did succeed in getting the fan shaft and the upper water pipe off, and I ended up doing what I should have done from the beginning. I sacrificed the one carburetor bolt, and that made all the difference in the world. I knew that I was going to need the torch anyway, so I went ahead and went and got it. Got rid of the bolt head right there, got the carburetor off, and then I was able to, while not extremely easy, we were able to get the fan shaft out of the tractor along with the other water pipe. Let me show you the inside of the carburetor though. The carnage continues. And this is the manifold side of the carburetor. I haven't checked to see if that's all carbon or if that's rust or if that's a combination of both. But you can see in there that we have it inside there also. So, with that being said, we're going to continue on. We're going to heat the nuts on the manifold. We're going to get them pretty hot. We're going to let them cool off. I've been to the store. I've got a new can of suds, I guess, if you want to call it. And we're going to see if we can get this manifold off, and then we're going to work on the head. Going to get the torch out, start heating these nuts on these manifold. I do have my welding gloves out if I need them. I don't normally use them when I'm just heating. So we'll get started. Okay, and we're just going to let those kind of cool off. Give them a good shot of penetrant and then see how we get along getting the manifold off. All right, we're going to try the manifold bolts now. While we were waiting to cool, I went ahead and just torched off the elbow bolts. They were beyond helping there. So I think these stud bolts have had time to cool, so we're going to get some penetrating fluid on them, get a wrench on it, and see if we can get them to move. Go ahead and get some on the back ones even. They are 13/16. There's one. Two. All right. We're almost there. See what the back three have to say. I believe these are worn down too much to. I only have one that I can even get a 6-point socket on to try. I may just go ahead and torch these off and we'll move on. And just like that, manifold is ready to come off. Basically just took the torch and kind of split the nuts. I don't know if it's hard for you to see right there, but that was really about all there was left to do to that. So if I can get there we go. I think maybe we can find my, excuse me, pass in front of the camera, find the wedge, put just a little bit of dried up. Well, as we saw, that's dirt. I think that this is what is piled up down in the left cylinder since that hole was open, but yeah, both exhaust ports are full. It's just a bad deal when they sit forever and ever with the exhaust open. But looks like that the manifold is intact. So that's one less thing that hopefully we're going to have to buy. So we'll get this set over and move on to the cylinder head. Okay. This is the last one. Okay. I'm going to get a pan because I suspect we're going to have something come out. Just try to kick that one way or the other. There was some comments in some of the previous can't even talk. Some of the previous videos about how first I needed to get the tractor sandblasted, power washed, which I think power washing would have been a good idea. It did come in the shop with a lot of filth and trash and stuff on it. But then there was talk about, you know, filling the cylinders up full of fluid. And I think for a lightly stuck tractor, you might get away with that. But I think we've seen enough here to realize that it's not going to matter how much fluid we put in the cylinders. This tractor has no chance of running in the condition it's in. So I just decided to go ahead and just tear it down. I think we've got this rust issue either from directly sitting in water or condensation coming up. This whole front compartment is just full. So that's about the only choice that I see that we've got. So okay, let me take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like the head studs are loose. Now, do you think it'll move? I don't know. Looky there. And there's water. Get you down there to all right. I'm gonna maybe lower you down a little bit where you can kind of see a little more of what's going on. We'll keep moving side to side. And there she went, right there. Okay, we've got a 1/4 inch gap there. Seems to be coming fairly well. She definitely has a smell to her, no doubt. Okay, I'll bring you over and show you what we did with the vacuum. You can see we got down to there. We actually punched through right there into the combustion chamber with that mess of dirt there. And you can see this valve is still closed, but these were level full. And it sure looks like, I mean, just based on the amount of carbon and stuff built up in this intake, it's old tractor probably wasn't running real well at the end. So now we're ready to go ahead and get this head off. See if we can get this cylinder head off. See if I'm hoss enough to get this cylinder head off anyway. All right. Oh, well, at least it's coming. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie, folks. That's probably as bad a one as I've ever seen. All right. This cylinder is just almost half full of sediment. Probably mostly dirt. This one looks like it might have a little bit of oil in it. I don't know for sure, but it is, yeah, it's something else. So, well, anyway, I'm going to do a little digging on this stuff. Well, I think we're going to wrap this video up right now. I think we've gone as far as we're going to go today. I'm going to bring you in and show you what the cylinders look like. I've done some measuring. I'll tell you what I found and what we're going to do from here. So you can see the cylinders. Let me grab a light here. They're a little bit cleaner than we were. But I've got all the dirt and most of the rust out of them. We're still, best I can measure with the inside mics, they've got 45 over pistons in it, as well as some wear. There's anywhere from 10 to 15 thousandths wear over what a 45 thousandths overbore would be on this engine. And that's just me guessing. I've always heard that Deere's overbore pistons went 45/90 and 1 1/4, but I could be wrong about that. But it's measuring about 6.805 to 6.811, depending on where you go. There is a bit of a ring ridge in the cylinders, so I think that they probably ran it and got most of the good out of it. So there's some pits in there for sure, as you would expect, but I mainly just cleaned this up to try to get some way for some penetrant to go down there and see what we can do about getting the pistons out. The way I'm going to do that is we'll just go ahead and pull the block, stand it upright with the rods and pistons in it, and just let it soak. And we may have to stick it in the press and see what happens, or we probably will have to stick it in the press. But anyway, that's where we're at. So I think this is probably as far as we're going to go for a little bit. What I would like to do is finish cleaning up and prepping what I have taken off so far. We've got the rocker arm cover, we've got the carburetor, we've got other things that we can clean up. I'd like to get that done and get it cleaned up and stowed away to where it's just not a big pile of parts all over the shop. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, well, that's a wrap then from Papa B's Old Time Repair. I hope you've enjoyed this journey on the John Deere DI so far, and there's nothing else to do, folks, but just keep plugging away. It's a tractor I think is worth the project. So we'll bring you back whenever we have more to show you. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate the comments. And we'll catch you next time.